Hello, everyone. How are you? Um, Welcome to what I believe is the last weekend of the HS Navigator Young Scholar Program. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about HS Navigator itself, like what's the sort of platform, the website that we built, and how can we use it, and how can you guys use it to sort of help yourself find potential fun career paths, just things you want to enjoy, things you want to explore over the summer or during the school year. Um, we'll get started in a minute or so, just to let some more people join in. But that's the gist of what we're going to be talking about today. Whew. Um, all right. I think I can probably just go ahead and get started. I see some more people are joining in, but today's going to be a shorter sort of webinar in general. I'm going to be going through a little bit of slides about some of the stuff that HS Navigator can do. And then a lot of it's going to be, excuse me, um, a lot of it's going to be a demo on some of the cool features that HS Navigator has and how can you guys sort of use them or actually use the website to your advantage. So I guess I'm gonna make sure slides are sharing. So yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. So obviously we have this disclaimer on all of our sort of slides. We're not aiming to be like the perfect sources of knowledge. We're still students ourselves, so there are some things we might get wrong. But yeah, um, I guess throughout a lot of the webinars I've been doing, um, throughout a lot of the webinars that I've been doing, I haven't really explained a lot about myself. I mean, I've sort of introduced myself a bit in some of the webinars about like the college sort of sessions, and saying I'm a student at Georgia Tech. But a little bit about myself is I was the one who founded HS Navigator, if you weren't aware. I started it around my junior year of high school and junior or sophomore year of high school. And from then on, I've just kept sticking with it. And the team's grown and grown and it's sort of been building out beyond me as well. Um, I'm currently a rising senior at Georgia Tech. I'm studying for a bachelor's of computer science. And I'm also right now, I'm actually not even at home, not even in New Jersey. I'm in Seattle right now for an internship at Amazon. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so it's a little bit earlier in the day for me than you guys. Um, and I've had some other internships in the past at Amazon and at Bloomberg as well. So I guess a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be talking a little bit about, it's not going to be that much. It's going to be much shorter than a lot of the webinars we've had so far. So a little bit about what made us start HS Navigator, what made me start sort of the program, the website, everything like that. What are the sort of search opportunities? What is the website like? What is HS Navigator? What can I use it for, and how can I use it to my advantage? And how can I take advantage of the free tool that they have? So a little bit about why HS Navigator was started, or sort of the timeline that it's taken to get to where it is today. In 2018, wow, 2018 was 5 years ago. That's crazy to think about at this point. I don't know how I feel about that. But in 2018, I was looking for summer opportunities, and some of you may be familiar with my high school, South Brunswick High School, but some of you may not be. And with a lot of high schools in New Jersey, New York especially, they're massive. There's like thousands of kids in the school, and there's very few school counselors. I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this as well, where you try to go to your counselor for anything, and honestly, most people won't even like see their counselor except for the one or two mandatory times you just see them just to, I don't know, do your course registration, or like they call you in for like that one mandatory college like session. And when you're trying to find opportunities for the summer, it's sometimes difficult to find those on your own. So you want to go ask someone like your counselor on what should I do? How should I pursue this for the future? And with me falling into the same sort of trap, I think there's around 3,000, 4,000 students in my high school, and only a team of like 10 or 12 counselors, at least when I was there, you really don't have time to talk to your counselor like that. So I decided to create HS Navigator as a way to solve that issue. And then, so 2019, I actually published the website. So 2018 was mainly just me finding opportunities on my own, making like an Excel spreadsheet, and just keeping track of like, oh, these are cool things that I found. In 2019, I actually decided to make the website and make it live. hsnavigator.org, which is the same domain we use to this day. Initially, we added around 500 opportunities and just sent it to like the counselors in my school district, the counselors in some neighboring school districts, or some of the school districts to my family members and some of my family friends as well, and said, hey, can you guys look at this? What are your thoughts on it? What are some ways that this can actually help other students? And would this be a helpful tool to you guys, helpful tool to you all? And the feedback was honestly great, especially from the counselors within my own high school. They loved it, and they gave so much feedback on, hey, you should include this feature, or this feature needs a little bit of tweaking. You should make it so people can add like free or paid programs. You should add programs with certain sort of tags for diversity groups. I know a lot of people are looking for those. And there's a lot of really positive feedback from that as well. Moving on to 2020, the pandemic year, a lot of people were trying to find these sort of online summer opportunities, and summer opportunities were canceled, and everything was sort of going downhill from there. But we still kept the website up, and we still started putting out online opportunities, transitioning new opportunities, and a lot of them were canceled, but we still wanted to push forward and still update the website for that year. So we started a create your own listing option, and essentially what this allowed you to do is log into the website. I'll show a little bit more about this later, but log into the website. You can create your own sort of list of like, hey, this is my personal like 20 things I want to apply to, or here are some opportunities that I found in my local area. These aren't on the website, but I want to still add them, still have a list of a way to save them. And sometimes you can add them to the database yourselves. We also added volunteer opportunities because a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of you know about like maybe like National Honor Society or your school district's volunteer hour requirements. With everything going virtual with the pandemic, people still need to volunteer hours. So since we're a 501c3 nonprofit, we're allowed to give volunteer hours out to students. So we started volunteer opportunities for like updating the website, adding new opportunities, things like that. In 2021, we started our first Young Scholar Summer Program. This was sort of just mainly focused on computer science because it was what I had the most background in and what some of the people that I was working with, the team that was working with then, had the most background in. And so we just wanted to do like a pilot program. I know a lot of things were still canceled because of COVID. So we decided, hey, let's start this Young Scholar Summer Program. Let's see what this is. And we kept moving forward from there. 2022, we had our second Young Scholar Program. We started doing like monthly newsletters. We started just opening out our tools to a lot more people. And at this point, the growth from 2018, we had around 500 opportunities, or 2019, and now we had over 5,000 opportunities, which is a crazy amount of growth in that amount of time. And then this year, we started adding we added our new careers in healthcare onto our website. We have our third Young Scholar Program going on right now. And in just this 1 year, we've added over 2,000 new opportunities to the website, which is really, really crazy to say out loud. So what are some of the things that you can search by on HS Navigator? HS Navigator's, the main tool of it is, I am a student or I'm a counselor and I want to find summer opportunities. I want to find internships. I want to find scholarships. I want to find things to do or things to explore that can sort of help me pursue a career in what I want to do, or help me explore a passion of mine in the future. How can I sort of find the most personalized, customized thing for myself? And so the way we do that is with all these sort of filters that we have, and that allow you to hone down the list of our opportunities to ones that are just customized to the things that you want and the things that you are looking for. So, and also, as always, the sort of slideshow is sort of blocking a lot of my screen, so I can't see the chat right now. But if you have any questions, please feel free to send me them like a private message or send me them through the chat, and at the end of them, I'll take a look. At the end of this sort of shorter presentation, I'll take a look at them, and while I'm going through a demo, I could actually go through some opportunities that you guys might be interested in as well. So getting back to this, you can sort by stuff like program name. Whether, like, let's say you actually know the name of a program you're really interested in, like AI for All or sort of Math Academy or something like that. You can provide the actual name itself. You can do program types like summer programs, internships, scholarships, competitions like national Olympiads and things like that. Grade level, like your current grade in school. Fees, whether or not it's like paid, free, whether or not they might actually pay you to go to the program. There are actually programs like that. Duration, like how long is the program? Let's say you only have a few weeks in your summer or the whole summer. Topics, AI, chemistry, biology, journalism, anything you could think of. And university, like what university you're interested in and what sort of state location. Like I said, you can only be within New Jersey or within, if you want to go to check out Rutgers, you can do that. You can test that, so test the waters out with different universities and explore programs by them before you even go to the university. So some of the different types of programs that we have available are stuff like summer programs, internships, we have scholarships, competitions, and also volunteer opportunities. So if you want to look for some volunteer opportunities that you maybe haven't heard of or maybe that aren't available in your local area that you want to see if you can want to do, we have volunteer opportunities available as well. We have a bunch of different topics as well. This is one of the biggest things. We wanted to make sure we encompass as many topics as possible. So if you guys ever have any topics you believe aren't on our website, please feel free to let us know and we'll be sure to add them. We have stuff from the arts, like creative arts, animation, language, literature, linguistics, photography, philosophy, religion, business, like from the accounting side to the economic side, all the way to like some entrepreneurship or like marketing side of things as well. Health, this is the one we had a big push on these last year and the last year and a half. Opportunities in biology, health, medicine, nursing, pre-med programs for people who are really interested in that type of thing, and even things like sports therapy as well. Technology, this is sort of the foundation of our website. This is what we were built on originally. These are the programs that I sort of were looking for myself and built the website for. Stuff like AI, computer engineering, robotics, security, technology, and web development, just game development as well, like things that people are really, really interested in. And also the social sciences, stuff like debate, education, history, journalism, sociology, and teaching. There's actually been a lot of people are really interested in a lot of the journalism opportunities as well to sort of get access or get themselves into like working with either like schools or working with other institutions that have journalism programs. And another one of the sort of big topics is grade. Sometimes these programs, like let's say you only want to work with people who are a similar grade of you, like you don't want to work with like seniors as a freshman, or you want to look for opportunities that are sort of targeted for year. So targeted in the sense that they challenge you, but not like challenge you in the sense that you're a freshman, they're giving you senior level material. Or sometimes it's easier to get into these programs that are targeted towards your specific year. Like if it's an open program and there are seniors and juniors applying against you, and you're a freshman, then that can cause a problem. If you target a freshman only program, it can be easier to get in as well. I did realize I just put sophomore twice here, but it's fine. Current grades, you can just select multiple grades as well. Like if you want to do from 9th to 11th grade, you can choose those as well. Duration. So you could do programs that are just like a day program. There's a bunch of programs that are actually like that, whether it's like competitions, one-day volunteer opportunities, or just sort of college visit type of opportunities where you get to go and experience like a class or an event at a college, and that could still count as one of our programs. Or you can have stuff that ranges all the way to like 10 weeks, multiple weeks, maybe like 2.5 months even. So 1 day to 2.5 months, there's programs of all sort of lengths, all sort of timelines, just to support however much time you have to dedicate to these. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, I said muted. Um, Sorry about that. So yeah, we have stuff like gender as well. Um, we have stuff for fees. Um, I'd say like paid programs, free programs, whether or not they actually pay you, which I didn't know those programs existed, but apparently there are programs that actually pay you a stipend for coming to those programs. States, so now not everyone has the opportunity to sort of travel to different states over the summer to do those opportunities. So looking for ones in your home state can be really, really helpful. University, like let's say you really want to go to NYU or you really want to go to I don't know, Yale, like it says in this on the slide. If you really have a university you really want to go to, then going to an opportunity at that university can let you not only see how is campus life, how is the environment at that university. It can also let you talk to professors, talk to students at that university as well. And when it comes to time for like if you want to apply to that university and you end up wanting to go to that university in the future, then having that knowledge of specific professors, specific students, sometimes they can even write you recommendation letters for that university if you really, really get to know them. So knowing a lot about a university and going to programs about university can be a big help in actually ending up going to that university in the future. And this is sort of how the website looks right now. So how you can sort of go through and search for the opportunities. It looks like there's a lot of stuff on the screen right now, but it's sort of been broken down as all the categories we've been talking about. So stuff like the program name, the type, grade, gender, fees, duration, all the sort of things that we've been talking about right now are all sort of present here. And due date within past records and sort by is sort of three extra categories. Like due date within is this due within the next few days? Because otherwise I don't have time to complete it. Past records is, hey, is this something that already expired? Like this is no longer available for the summer? If so, don't include it. Or maybe I want to look at everything that was available for this summer. And even if it's gone by, I want to know about it so that in the future I can apply to it. And that sort by is just sorting the different opportunities based on like certain parameters. So let's take a look at a sample sort of response. Let's say you search for math programs and you just say, okay, I want to look at all math programs. This is like sort of what a sample response from the website will look like. There'll be a huge list of them coming down at the bottom about a bunch of different opportunities. Each one kind of looks like this. You have the name as well as a link to the opportunity. You have like the program date, the start date, and the due date. You have the state and the city, an apply link and a contact link for the program, what sort of types the program is, what topics it is, how long it is, the fees, and the current grade that it needs. As well as a bunch of options on the side, like whether or not you want to favorite that opportunity to a favorites list, if you want to send it via Facebook, Twitter, email to someone or to yourself as well. Let's say you're a counselor, your counselor can also email it to students as well. So those sort of that's sort of the general idea of what each of these sort of opportunities look like. And there'll be like tens to hundreds of these opportunities per search result you have, considering we have 7,000 of them. Another sort of feature of the website, and that we were talking a little bit about before, was the ability to log in and create your own personal list. So if you click that icon on the website, you can register your account and log in. And what this login allows you to do is create what's called a My Programs listing. This is just there's a tutorial on the website as well. There's a YouTube link to a tutorial, but essentially it lets you make opportunities for yourself. Like let's say there's some opportunities that your school has that other that it's not just like a public opportunity. Only people from your school can have it. You still want to store it in the list, or especially for counselors, this is really useful because you can create lists of customized opportunities and then send them out to students and be like, hey, here's a list of cool opportunities from our school, and it's formatted in a way that people can look at it and have all this information for it. Add new listings, you put in all the information yourself, and you can click add. And eventually, you can also add these sort of programs to the actual HS Navigator database itself. Like if there's a cool program and you click add and you want to add it to our database, you can also send it to us, and we'll like either approve it or deny it. We can actually be added into our database. If you have cool opportunities you want other people to know about, you can send them over our way. And a little bit about I guess, this HS Navigator program. Like, what is this Young Scholar program that you guys are doing right now, and how did this come to fruition? I guess the HS Navigator program, like we were talking about before, started in 2021. So 2020 to 2021, I'm sure a lot of you guys, all of you guys know, like the pandemic was sort of in its peak of those 2 years. So summer programs were canceled because people didn't want to go in person. Everything was remote, and there's a lot of opportunities for students that would have been there before have been canceled. So we decided to sort of make our own opportunity and support students during this sort of the COVID year, the COVID summers. So the first year we sort of centered on computer science, but it was the same idea of let's have a webinar, let's have a series of speakers and presentations that let students still learn the type of things that they would learn on a summer program, but for completely free and available to everyone. The next year we sort of broadened our horizons. We centered on a bunch of topics like computer science, pre-med, accounting. We added the student alumni talks, as well as like talks with people in industry about career and helpful tips about relating to that. And the third year, which is the year we have right now, we wanted to sort of broaden it even further. We centered on computer science, healthcare, and a bunch of different other topics. And we expanded the amount of student alumni talks we have as well to different universities, different places that we didn't get to discuss last year. And HS Navigator is not only just like a website to sort of go on and look at your summer programs, although that is a big part of it. There's also opportunities for you all on the website as well. So there's volunteer opportunities. So if you guys need volunteer hours, you can work with us. We could also provide you with volunteer hours. We volunteer hours, we provide the certificates and everything. And the work that you guys do is by like adding and updating the summer programs, and we'll help working on some of the parts of the website to ensure that each year we stay up to date and we have new and exciting opportunities for students to look at and for you all to work with when you're using the website in the future. And not just volunteer opportunities, you also have leadership opportunities. We're always looking for more students to be part of the team, especially as I go further and further away from high school. We're looking for more and more high school students to sort of take the step up and be part of the team, and enabling the team with students to make sort of new enhancement ideas to the website, new ideas for programs, whether it's like this new concept of Young Scholar program, new sort of ideas of stuff to do throughout the school year, new ways to outreach to different people. There's always new things to do and always new ways to innovate the website. So we're always looking for more students to be part of the team. And all the information about how to join these sort of volunteer leadership opportunities, you can either check on the website or email one of us. We're able to contact link directly, and we'll be sure to answer your questions. And one of the newer things that we added to the website, actually, just this last year and a half, was the medical career page. So what we noticed was a lot of people wanted careers that were focused towards like pre-med, or if they were in college, they want to focus on pre-med stuff as well. So the reason we sort of chose this medical program listing was twofold. One, we wanted to start expanding towards not just high school opportunities, but also opportunities for undergrad students and colleges. And that's a pretty broad range of things to go for. So we had to sort of start small and work our way up from there. So we focused on medical careers because the pre-med programs are very similar for both high school and undergrad students. And it's a very specialized sort of niche that we can work towards expanding in the future. So the medical career is a new sort of program listing page on our website. If you go to our website, I'll show it later. And allows you to sort of look at opportunities about nursing, pharmacy, optometry, dental work, and DO and MD programs, which if you're not familiar with the process of becoming a doctor, those sort of just two sort of facets of ways you could become a doctor. And these opportunities are for both undergrad and high schoolers as well. So use the opportunity to first click on a link, and that takes you to this listing page. You can choose between high school or undergrad. Select what type of program types you're interested in. And right now, we just have the state filter. So you're looking for MD, DO programs, or whatever sort of programs you're just interested in as a high schooler or undergrad, and within the state that you're interested in. And the listings are very similar to the ones we had before, except with some cool new features. So let's say we look at this sort of sample medical opportunity. Not only do we have like the program date, start date, apply link, we have maybe MCAT, GPA, ACT, SAT scores that are required for it. Some of the science courses that are required for it, that are sort of recommended for it. And maybe some of the enrollment data as well, like what's their diversity percentage there, what's the male and female ratio, what's the in-state, out-of-state ratio, class sizes, things like that, which is really, really interesting to think about. And it provides a sort of way to not only like know what the opportunity is, but know the sort of competition you're going up against and whether or not this is sort of an opportunity you really, really want to do. And are you sort of the general group that can fit into this sort of dynamic? And that's the end of sort of slideshow for now. But what I do want to do is switch over and first answer some of your questions, but also start giving you guys a demo about how this sort of HS Navigator program works. So give me 1 second. All right. So we first answer a few questions that I got. One person just asked, when am I going back to college? So Georgia Tech starts college actually really soon. We start around the 18th of August. So it's pretty early compared to a lot of places, but that's around when I'm going back. And would you think the HS Navigator program would be considered an extracurricular activity? I think it definitely could be. I know a lot of people, especially in the leadership team, like I especially also, if I was part of the leadership team or when I was sort of in high school, I put this as an extracurricular activity, saying that I was part of the leadership team and I was helping to found this website and I demonstrated the impact of it. And I think it was a pretty big helpful part for a lot of my sort of applications, or I didn't really do it for the applications, but it was helpful to show this as an extracurricular activity, to show, hey, this is where a lot of my time went. And for a lot of the reasons that I didn't do a lot of other things, it's because I'm spending so much time on here and so much time building this up. And even if you're doing this as a volunteer opportunity as well, it can definitely be shown as a great way to spend your time and a great way to sort of make impact while also moving forward and using your time wisely. So with that, I'm going to start sort of giving some demos about what are some of the ways you can actually use the HS Navigator website. So this is the homepage where it has sort of the testimonials from the people that we've talked to, the counselors that we've talked to in different sort of states. We have the posts from our blog, which you should all make sure to subscribe to. It's sort of similar to the LinkedIn posts we make, but it's just keeping up to date on some of the cool new things we're doing on the website and just getting insights on some new programs, new opportunities, new tools that we add. We have sort of our media coverage, which we have been able to get media coverage, which is really, really cool to do. And yeah, if you want to start getting started with searching programs, you just click the search programs button. And my Wi-Fi is a bit terrible, so it will take a few seconds to load. Yeah, so let's say, I don't know, our first sort of search, you want to look for something about like something with the word artificial, let's say artificial intelligence, anything like that. And we're looking for, I guess, like a free summer program related to this. What are some opportunities we have? Okay, so we have this opportunity. So we can take this, we can click on it, take a look in the new tab, and this is apparently a Stanford University program on a summer research internship that's related to AI. That's pretty cool. Getting the opportunity to work with summer opportunities and work with sort of colleges and doing AI research sounds like a really, really exciting program. Now, let's say that we want to switch it up. Let's say that we're able to sort of financially look at paid programs. And let's say this is sort of stuff we're interested in. We're willing to pay a little bit of money, but we want to sort of really explore artificial intelligence over the summer. Now, there's some more programs that are sort of coming up. Like UC Santa Barbara has academies. University of Rhode Island has artificial camps of virtual reality, which is pretty cool. getting to sort of work on game development, working on abandoned towns. That's pretty interesting stuff. And Stanford, of course, is another program as well, Stanford AF for All, which AF for All is a very, very cool program. And they have a lot of stipends and grants, so that the pricing is honestly not a concern a lot of the times, because universities are very willing to sponsor students to sort of come to their programs as well. So I recommend checking out AF for All if any of you guys have the opportunity to. Let's say we sort of go away from the sort of artificial intelligence side of things. And you want to look for maybe internships. I don't know, just internships in general. What are some of the internships you have available on the website? So we have stuff like NASA internships, and these are actually directed towards high school students as well. So NASA, you can work at NASA as a high school student. I know it sounds sort of crazy, but there are opportunities available for high school students. And a lot of people won't even know about these unless they were looking actively for them. And not only that, like the Metro, you can work with, like I said, the Transportation Commission, you can work at Stanford, work with Telluride. There's a bunch of sort of opportunities for high school students to actually do work and do internship programs and do sort of work not only just as like a part-time job or something like that, or as like a sort of part-time opportunity, but also do work that's very, very connected or accurate to the work they want to do in the future and immerse themselves in that early, which is really, really cool to see. Let's say we want to go back to sort of summer program things, but let's say we're interested in only like a specific few universities, like, I don't know, Carnegie Mellon, Columbia, and stuff like, I don't know, Stanford. We saw a lot of these opportunities before, but let's say we only look at these. These are like our sort of dream schools. These are things we want to really go work towards. Obviously, we have like the AI for All program. We have a mathematics camp. We have SAMS, which is a really, really cool program. If you're able to get into this, it's a very, very cool program. And a lot of students from this program actually move on to go towards Carnegie Mellon as well. So if you ever have the opportunity to pursue this program, I would keep this in mind. And yeah, they have a bunch of sort of programs from like Stanford Pre-Collegiate it's a whole sort of institute and series of classes you can take that just let you take college classes as a high school student. And they can do everything from legal studies to bioscience, number theory, which is like really complicated math, frontiers in physics, game design, a bunch of different cool things to think about. Let's say we want to sort of move away from the tech side of things. Let's say we want to do, I don't know, we're really interested in sort of the legal side of things, like law, legal, justice negotiation, this type of thing. We want to become a lawyer in the future. So we have like the ACLU, which is a very big organization, high school programs. They have youth leadership forums, mock trial, global scholars from Yale, a bunch of different opportunities that, like, you might think that, oh, there's nothing really you can do in terms of like, I want to pursue a career in law or social justice or something in the future. There's nothing you can really do as a high school student, but there are opportunities in sort of every field and every sort of category. And I don't know, let's say I didn't really try out the state thing yet. Let's say we want to go specifically for like Texas or something. Prairie A&M has a sort of justice program. There's criminal justice at Sam Houston State University. There's enough opportunities on the database that whatever sort of combinations you try out, there's usually going to be at least one or two programs available for you, which if you're looking for a summer program, honestly, one or two is all that you need. Just apply to them and try your odds and see if you're able to do these sort of programs, and they can be really helpful for your future. And I guess from there, if you want to sort of move on to talk about the medical programs, which, as I mentioned before, is sort of an entirely different page on the website that relates to. Second, my Wi-Fi is a little bit terrible right now. in the meantime, I think there was one other question. Um, can I be part of the leadership team and contribute? Yeah. So anyone can sort of apply and be a part of the leadership apply to be a part of the leadership team. Just send us a message over at the contact link or at the link at the end of the presentation that I'm going to share with. And yeah, if we sort of think that you really have the passion for it and you really have some nice changes you want to make to the website or to sort of program and organization as a whole, then we'd be glad to have you on board. So I think it loaded. Getting back to the medical programs, as you can see, sort of like I mentioned on the slide, you can choose between undergrad or high school opportunities, choose between your state, and also choose between the program type that you're interested in. So let's say we're looking for, I don't know, my home state. You want to find high school opportunities. You're a high schooler in New Jersey who's really interested in pre-med, and that sort of thing, and you want to look for DO opportunities. So DO, by the way, DO and MD are two sort of doctorate degrees. They're just two different variants of the doctorate degree. Both of them classify as doctors full time. They can have their own clinics and everything. It's just whether or not you want to be like a medical, I believe it's a doctor in medicine or a doctor in osteopathic medicine. So it's just two differences in the different type of programs that are available to them. So there's a DO program for high school students in New Jersey. And it lets you sort of get into sort of medical schools or medical programs early and get an insight into what sort of life is like at those areas. Let's say you want to look at New Jersey DO programs for undergrad students. Now you can see there's sort of one more available. This Rowan Virtual School of Osteopathic Medicine requires sort of an MCAT for it. You can see like the apply link, some of the courses that you may be required to do in beforehand. I'm also going to look at some cool enrollment data before that as well. So stuff like what's the sort of diversity percentages that they mention, what's the male to female ratio of these opportunities, what's the percent of in-state versus out-of-state programs, and just sort of different things to think about when you're applying to these programs, and think about what sort of people you're going to go ahead and meet there. Let's say you want to move over from DO to sort of MD programs, and you're interested in high school opportunities there. There we have med schools at Rowan, we have health profession sort of programs, we have opportunities at Rutgers as well for MD programs, and you can also switch this back to undergrad as well and get some more opportunities. I think there's one additional opportunity that's available for these that's related specifically to RWJ Medical School, which is Rutgers at a medical school for undergrad students. Yeah. 1 second. So let's say we don't want to go with New Jersey specifically. We want to go just all high school students DO opportunities. Well, how many sort of are there? There's around 12 programs, all from a bunch of different states with a bunch of different sort of demographics, courses that are required for them, and just different places you can apply to or think about sort of keeping your mind for when you want to pursue a career in pre-med in the future. And for high school students, there's 12, but if you want to move it towards undergrad, there's 67 programs available for that. It's a lot of different things to consider, a lot of different things to think about as an undergrad student. There's so many different opportunities, and these aren't representative of every opportunity out there. This is just the ones that we have curated and ones we have collected. If you go out and look on your own, there's probably hundreds more that you can think about and look at. You could do a similar sort of thing for MD as well. So you switch over to MD and you look at high school opportunities. There's around 44 of them versus 158 for undergrad students. So while there might be there's still plenty of opportunities as a high school student. Once you move into college, move into undergrad, the amount of opportunities that open for you just expands, not only in medicine, but in any other field. And you can always keep it in mind for how do we want to sort of pursue our career? And there's always opportunities for whatever sort of niche you want to get into. There's always things to do and always things to explore. And just to look at some of the other sort of categories, like, I don't know, dental. There's like 74 programs for sort of dental programs as undergrad. like physician assistants, pharmacy, optometry. Physician assistant has 318 programs. It's a really big field, and it's really rising in popularity as well. So that just goes to show that there's opportunities for everyone, whether in medicine or on our main page as well. There's always opportunities to look for. You just have to be able to go out there and put your foot out, put your application out, and try your hand at things that you find really interesting. And that's sort of the reason we built Aegis Navigator, was to empower people to do that. Yeah, I think that just about concludes it on my end, I guess, for today. I just want to give it a little bit of a demo on how the website works, some of the cool opportunities for it. And sort of get my hand at sort of put my hand forward on showing that what Aegis Navigator is, how can you use it, and how does it have sort of opportunities for both medical students, non-pre-med students, and for people who are interested in any sort of field in the future. So if you guys have any sort of last questions, then I'll go ahead and answer those. But if not, I'll give you your time back before our next sort of webinar. Cool. I think that should wrap it up for here. Be sure to attend our next webinar and coming up in a little bit, and I'll give you guys some time back. Thank you.